The goal of the Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention Act is to ensure that the youth in the juvenile justice system receive the proper care while they are wards of the state. Another goal is to give juveniles the necessary resources and opportunities to succeed and live fulfilling lives despite their circumstance in the system. With the recent entrance of the Bartison Agreement between the federal and local levels, the Bartison reauthorization provides federal funding to the state and local levels, state advisory groups, and the federal agency of operation that provides training and research and evaluations to the state's system. Does the policy improve the quality of life for juveniles? The JJDPA focuses on improving the quality of lives for juveniles through its four core requirements. The institutionalization of status offenders. Status offenses are offenses that only apply to minors whose actions would not be considered offenses if they were adults. The most common are skipping school, running away, breaking curfew, and possession or use of alcohol. Under the JJDPA, status offenders may not be held in secure detention or confinement unless under certain circumstances where some status offenders can be detained for up to 24 hours. The DSO wants to make sure that status offenders that haven't committed a criminal offense are not held in secure juvenile facilities for long periods of time or in secure adult facilities for any length of time. Adult jail and lockup removal. Under the JJDPA, youth may not be detained in adult jails and lockups except for limited times before or after a court hearing. The provision is designed to protect children from psychological abuse, physical assault, and isolation. Children housed in adult jails and lockups have been found to be 8 times more likely to commit suicide, 2 times more likely to be assaulted by staff, and 50% more likely to be attacked with a weapon than children housed in juvenile facilities. Sight and sound separation. When children are placed in an adult jail or lockup, sight and sound contact with adults is prohibited under the JJDPA. The provision wants to prevent children from threats, intimidation, or other forms of psychological abuse and physical assault. Under sight and sound, children cannot be housed next to adult cells, sharing dining halls, recreation areas, or any other common spaces with adults, or be placed in any circumstance that could expose them to threats or abuse from adult offenders. Racial and ethnic disparities. Under the JJDPA, states are required to assess and address racial and ethnic disparities at key points in the juvenile justice system, from arrest to detention to confinement. Studies indicate that youth of color receive tougher sentences and are more likely to be incarcerated than white youth for the same offenses. Who would support this bill? Currently, a total of 22 states do support the JJDPA through funding. Unfortunately, the funding has decreased significantly. It is important that constituents address to the Appropriations Committee to fully fund critical programs of the juvenile justice and delinquency prevention system. Who will oppose it? Members of the Appropriations Committee who might not agree with supporting the funding due to the cost. Does an adequate level of personnel, resources, skills, and expertise exist to implement the policy successfully? The Office of the Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention consists of a large staff to include the administrator, several program managers, associate administrators, a budget analyst, and the grant management specialist. Does the policy propose a good use of scarce resources? The policy relies on federal funding that is dependent upon whether or not the state chooses to enact the policy. The policy can only accomplish its goals with the appropriate funding needed to support the programs in the JJDPA system. Without it, juveniles' voices would be lost in a system that values putting people away more than helping people out of the system. Thank you.